Namaste, Bhaiya. Namaste to all. So, as Sunil Bhaiya has already introduced, I'm Kavitha Sri Saran from the CDC department in SRM IST. And I have, let me go ahead with my background, family background. I have two children. Both my children are lawyers, and my husband is a businessman. My in-laws, my mother-in-law and my mother, both of them stay with me, which is a huge gift. So my journey in UHV, it started in the year 2022 in the month of August. My UHV 1 and 2 both happened in the online mode. And after the UHV 2, that is in around in the month of March in 2023, that is what the time that I got a little bit of clarity about UHV. When I did my first one, I just did because all of them were doing it, and I was just a little bit curious of to know what it is. Though the content over there, the knowledge it was shared was really, I mean, something to say that was very, very informative. But still, I wasn't putting it into any kind of practice, or I was not giving much of an importance to that. Later on, like when I did after my UHV2 as well, slowly I got a hang of this content, and I started getting into the morning sessions. I would say that the morning sessions, my involvement in the morning sessions was something which paved the whole journey in the UHV. I thought that it'll be very difficult for me to go ahead and be in the morning sessions because I have to leave the house by 6:30, and 5:30 to 6:30 is a morning session. So I never thought that I will be a part of this. When all my colleagues and all my people around me, they did not want to go ahead and get into this morning session. But I thought, let me go ahead and try it out and see if I can. I would say that maybe like I am there from the batch 8. I'm not there for the whole 1 hour, but still my presence is there, or I am staying connected with the content for probably for at least 15 to 20 minutes during that 1 hour session. So when I slowly started this, I found this even this 20 minutes having a kind of an impact in my day-to-day activities. That was totally resonating with each and everything that was happening all throughout in the day. So slowly this though it was at times very, very difficult, I used to use my headphones and I used to be there and cook things, and I keep telling people that please don't disturb me right now, so this is my space. I was trying to go and put across certain things. Slowly my own people started giving that space to me, and they just said that they used to remind me that what is it now you do today, you have your session now, and why are you not joining, and all those reminders they gave me. So this was something that the morning sessions were something so much a part of my life, I would say. And when I have to share about the exercise 1 and exercise 2 to start with, when I was told to go up and catch up my imagination, initially I was not able to do that, and I was clueless. I felt it was so much of a blank, and I felt really restless. I didn't want to get into that state. I always wanted to open my eyes. I felt there's nothing much, and I was not able to line with that. And slowly what happened is, as my sessions also continued, as I started continuing in the 8th batch, 9th batch, 10th batch, and now in the 11th batch, my involvement in the process gradually helped me to focus a little deeper. And that is when I started observing the desire, thought, and expectations. And I found that every now and then, this is something continuous. The desire, thought, and imaginations are continuously. And when I pay attention, I'm able to read it. But when I'm not, most of the times I may not be in that state. And I find that when I'm not in that state, then I am so much involved in the external activities. And whenever my feelings were in line with the natural acceptance, I found that I'm so comfortable and very stable and I'm in the harmonious state. But the moment I go into an assumption mode about something, because I found that I'm operating more in my preconditionings and my assumptions. And whenever I go into that mode, I found that it is creating a lot of disturbance in me. I would say this with relating to my personality. Like I'm a person like who don't want to uh, really hurt others, or when there is something chaos happening, when there is a kind of a disagreement happening anywhere, I would definitely feel very very uncomfortable. When there is a conflict, I tend to get so disturbed, and I would actually be silent over there, or I will try to go ahead and move out of that place. I feel so, powerless over there. I feel that I'm not able to go and do anything. There's a lot of disturbances. I feel telling myself why people keep arguing like this. Why not one of them let go of things? And all these things keeps running in my mind, and it gives me a feeling of unpleasantness. But I tend not to go and open up because I feel that I might be hurting another person when I go and share certain things with the other. So I remain silent, and I also tend to avoid that situation or move out of the situation. But this feeling was really disturbing me, and I was actually having a feeling of victim over there. I felt like I'm not able to handle that situation. And at that point of time, mostly I try to go and under evaluate myself, and this was the most disturbing factor, and this used to disturb me all throughout the night, and I really can't catch sleep because of this. And this was really something that sometimes what happens is the same kind of inner war that I'm undergoing, it used to exhibit in a kind of an indefinite behavior as well. I don't want to hurt others truly, but because of this disturbance that I'm undergoing, I unconsciously, or probably like I don't have a hold of the situation, I try to go and exhibit a behavior to the others, which sometimes, which they have also felt bad about it. So gradually I started exploring this, and I found that I am the one who is deciding my feelings. And when I am stable within, I will be complementary to the other. And so, whenever I am in this state nowadays, I ask myself, like, am I having the feeling of relationship or opposition? Because of that feeling of opposition only, I was having the whole lot of emotions that were running. And if I am stable within, definitely I would be able to go and help others. So this was something that I keep asking these days, and I understand that based on my feeling only, I can consciously, I can make efforts to get out of this. I understand totally that the feeling of relationship should also is also something very natural. It need not be like forced, or it need not be like something that is a pressure. And being unconditional is something that would help me to go and handle things. Probably this could also be that I'm not ready to accept people as they are. So this is also another thing, like which helped me also to handle things at home in my family level. I used to be in opposition with my son. Like my son is quite grown up, and it and most of the things what he says or what he does, or whatever he conveys is something that I always get into a mode of opposition. I don't know like why he has to behave in that way, why he has to utter certain things in that way. Maybe a one day, like when he was so irritated with something, or something went off the way, and just a small action of mine, like he got so irritated, and he just tried to go and hurt me so badly. Earlier to this, I would have become very much upset with his behavior. I would have created such a huge drama in front of my own people. I would have really told like, how can you do this? You don't have so much of respect to elders, you don't respect your mother, I've sacrificed everything for you. All these I mean, these dialogues and all these conversations would have run. But I don't know, on that day I never said anything. I just kept quiet. I just gave a look. I mean, I was just looked at his face and just kept quiet. And I just went a little away from there. The very next moment, he just got back to his own senses, and he was so sorry for himself. He felt very, very sorry for that, and he told me multiple times. And what the thing is, I immediately told him, "You didn't do this I intentionally. I know that you never wanted to do this, but you were a little disturbed, and that's what you did this. It's okay. It's okay. Fine. I don't. I mean, I'm not. I mean, I don't feel hurt about this. It is okay." So this is something, like something which I found that in my process of the UHV journey, I have started slowly, slowly accepting people and their behaviors. My greatest opposition was my son all these years. But nowadays, like I am there to, like I'm having that unconditional feeling towards him. It is not that I'm allowing him to do whatever he wants. It is something that I feel that I first have to be stable within myself, and only then I can go and communicate what is running in my mind to the other. When I am in a disturbed state, definitely I would not be able to go ahead and say what to the other. Whatever I convey to the other would only be in that state of opposition. So first is like I have to calm myself. So I have to better understand this harmony, relationships, and coexistence. And I am in the process of understanding this more and more in my day to day, I mean, activities and everything that is happening. And in my day to day activities, also, my involvement with people as well as with the things around, I've started valuing those. Earlier, like whatever things, material I was using, I just used to take it for granted. I don't weigh much towards all those. And I just used to feel, yeah, it's just, I'm just have to use it and just be done with that. But these days, I have started valuing, giving much more importance to that also. And this is just happening so naturally. I'm not consciously into it, but I can see that it's that connectivity is just there. So, and again, another incident which I could always cite is, I had this another opposition is, my head of the department is somebody very close to me. Like, but what used to happen is I always used to feel that he never appreciates me, and and another thing is, he does not value my words, or he never even gives that importance to me. So I started observing that these I have a lot of expectations that are there from people. I'm expecting favorable feelings from that person, and when the person is ready to give me those favorable feelings, I'm happy about it. And when the person is not giving me favorable feelings, then I'm going on an opposition. So, I mean, and I was suppressing this feeling, like whenever there were things like when he was not in line with me, I always used to feel like, why does he not understand this? And I was suppressing this feeling. As I said, that I always keep suppressing the feeling rather than letting it out. But one day, what happened, just another 2 months back, I would say, like this suppression was, I was not able to handle. And I just went out the entire lot of things, emotions that was running in my mind. I didn't scream or shout, or I didn't do any of such things. But I had tears in my eyes, and I said that I don't know, like, what things I have to do to make you feel better. I feel that every time you are in an opposition with me, I don't know like what I'm supposed to do. But when I was undergoing these process, I usually go up and tell myself to check my feelings, observe my imaginations. All these things were online, all these things. I knew that I'm not supposed to go. I don't have to be in opposition with the other. I have to have a feeling of relation. All these were running. But I just went out, and I just went out the whole thing to that person, and he just remained over there silently listening to that. And after I went out, and after I had a huge cry on that day, I don't know, like I took a resolution that I am not going to expect any kind of favorable feeling from that person. I'm just going to go ahead and see what kind of feelings I have for that person. So when I am focusing on what feelings I have for the others, then my focus totally shifts towards myself. So I would travel more within myself rather than trying to go ahead and find out, like, I mean, evaluating the other. So I told myself that the intention of the other is also to be happy, and my intention is also right. So it is only the competency part which is differing. So when I am able to understand the other person better, let me go ahead and understand him better. So this is where, like, I found that yes, trust is something based on the intention part, and the behavior part is only the competency. So there were, like, these few instances which I would say, which I'm able to recollect more than the other things. And these were the things which really helped me out to go ahead and observe myself by the self. And I had this feeling that my husband would not be ready to understand this, or would not be ready to appreciate the things that are going around me, or like to go ahead and talk about the UHV content to him. So initially, I never went and spoke. I never shared much things to him. But later on, what happened so is our interaction between me and my husband, more of the interaction is nowadays about this content only. I see that my husband, though he has not attended the UHV, and I've not forced him to attend also, but the interaction part is happening more. And at times also, he also says certain things which are in line with the UHV content itself. So initially, which I felt as an objection, now our discussions have become so meaningful and so productive, and we are there to discuss upon this for for in length and for longer hours as well. So this is what is my understanding of the exercise one, that when I'm in line with the natural acceptance, and when I know that I'm in a state of harmony, relationship, and coexistence, that is a state which makes me comfortable, and that is so natural. So now moving on to the exercise two, I understand that there is I'm in space and my body as well, and there is an interaction, and I'm the one who's giving instruction uh, to the body based on the senses. Okay, and I perceive, and I don't read all the that I want. And I give instruct I mean, it's an instrument, and I am the one who pass on the instruction to the body and read those. So to add more to this, like, I'm a person who's been like, from my childhood facing, I face a lot of travel sickness whenever I go into any of the journey part. When you go into a train or a bus or a flight, it is something that I don't enjoy at all. It's something that I make my time very miserable to me and to the others. It really disturbs me. I start vomiting. I get headache. I have some sensations in my stomach. All these things used to make me irritable, and I don't like journey at all. I don't like. I totally I avoid. But my journey in UHV and my travel in the last 1 year has made a huge shift. All these years, I never enjoyed the journey, my travel. I had all these I mean, feelings that were going within me, all these sensations that were there with me. I was reading all those sensations clearly. I was only connected with those sensations which are unpleasant sensations which were there. But for the last 1 year, I would say that I had three travels which were very long travels, and which were like back to back. I had to travel. But my shift in my whole state, like, it made my travel so smooth and uh, really comfortable. I don't know, like, before my travel, I start thinking so much unpleasant about my travel. I started working on this like before I went on a travel. Earlier, I used to tell people that I mean, like, during the my travel also, it's so irritating. I don't like this. All these things used to come out. And but then I stopped giving importance to these uncomfortable feelings, and I started looking at the nature. I started enjoying each and every bit. I started looking at people around, and this makes my travel much more easier and comfortable. And in this process of exploration, I also try to go ahead, like read my some of my sanskars that are that are deep within me. I felt that why do I have this is probably is something that I had the fear that what will happen to my body, and that was what was disturbing me. But when I understand this body is something which is not continuous, but my journey within is something continuous, this fixed my problem and this shifted my problem. And for the last three travels, I never had any of these kind of unpleasantness in my travel. Similarly, like I'm a person who would love to wear clothes of different colors, and whichever is in trend. I would love to wear every new cloth every day. I mean, I like to accumulate. I had accumulated lot of clothes. I always wanted to wear. I always keep a track that I don't go ahead and change stuff. I mean, I don't go ahead and repeat stuff. I don't go ahead and wear the same thing again and again. And this was there, and everybody would appreciate me, and all those things, like were running with me. These days, I really feel uncomfortable to wear any new clothes, and there's a whole lot set of new clothes which are there still have not worn. Even if I have to take up and wear, I don't know, like I feel that uncomfortable. I switch on to my stuff which is really comfortable. So when I understood that the cloth is only to protect my body, then where what I was giving importance to all these things of like wearing new stuff and all these things was only to get favorable feeling from the others. The texture, the color, the trend, the fashion, everything was only to go and just I mean get that from the others. I felt like I have the sanskar, like I love that people need to uh, feel something, like I'm so special, I'm so unique, I'm different from the others. These were something, the thoughts that were running in my mind, and that was like I wanted to go ahead and show off to people. So slowly, my UHV journey started going a little more in depth from looking into my gross sanskar. My gross sanskar. It started going into, deeper and deeper, right? My deeper sanskars were coming into the surface, and I'm able to see the subtler one. So all these things, like people have to look at me, people have to appreciate me. See, all these things are only that I was working on, that I was in the survival mode. I was struggling for to get myself appreciation, to be a part of everybody, not to hear to any of the criticisms, always be in the mode like people have to accept me for everything. So I got to understand that I have to accept people first. And I had the fear of, probably like I have a sanskar of fear of darkness, fear of death, and all these things are something that which is clinging on to all these, and over evaluating and under evaluating me in every given situations. So this is something like a shift which I started looking into, and there was a shift from reaction to response. And this is something which happens naturally with the with when we have the right understanding, and the behavior remains definite in all the conditions. So from 6-1 to 6B, I see things, I'm able to see things much more clearly. When it comes to the seventh, I understand that I am in space, and the body is also transacting information with body through the space. And I feel that I have to go ahead and explore a little more on this. So this is what is my exercise 2 also has given me. Now, when I go to the next question on happiness, I mean, I can truly say that happiness is something a natural feeling, and it is an innate nature. It does not require any external validation. So it does not require. It only requires your internal validation. It is so intrinsic, and it doesn't relate to the outside happenings. When I'm totally into the outside, then I lose my control over there. I have to stay within, I have to be within myself, I have to be more composed, and I remain more silent and composed when I'm that state. It's not in becoming. I am more composed and stable when I know that, as I feel that it is an innate nature. And the next part is my program is right now focusing majorly on, primarily it has shifted from my body to empowering myself. The meaning that I understand of empowering myself has totally shifted after I stepped into this exploration mode. Earlier, I had it as a knowledge. I found it, I gave meaning in a different manner. But now, this explorative stage is really helping out to go and strengthen my conscious unit. And this has helped me to also come out with most of my preconditionings and my sensations. Earlier, like to it, I had this lot, and nowadays I'm also checking myself when I'm in a favorable state. I found that favorable state, whether it's a preconditioning or a sensation or what it is. But now I'm also trying out in all the favorable condition. Am I just doing it just it's a preconditioning, or is it that it's something a natural one? I have consciously worked on the working on that as well. Then to go ahead with that, I would say that yes, it is I have my inner tool, which is the natural acceptance. So the more I access my natural acceptance, the more I feel connected, the more I am in harmonious state, the more I feel in related with the other. And I see that in every interaction I make, I'm consciously telling myself like, am I have talking to a person with the feeling of relationship? If I have the feeling of relation, how would I? Right? So this makes my state of mind also stable. Now my commitment in this is, how much time can I devote is something. The right understanding is I'm definitely making majority of my time to be in the right understanding, and this feeling is because this feeling and my process in this is giving so much of purpose, and it is making my life much more interesting. As I have a field of psychology, I'm definitely trying to incorporate all this understanding into my field, and I use this in my counseling sessions as well. Like earlier to this, like I was only operating with the thoughts. I am a cognitive behavioral therapist where I I make efforts to change people thoughts in the first place. When students come and give me some certain issues and come out with me, but these days I'm trying to go ahead and check with their feelings as well. So slowly I'm incorporating this. I'm switching my sessions to the feeling, looking into the feeling parts also. So let them first understand the feeling. Let us first understand the feeling that is there, then the thoughts, and then the other things. Participating in the UHV activities have definitely strengthened this process. Only after my participation, after my UHV2, and I felt that my volunteering has helped me to reach, because I was a part of the offline sessions, and I was there in most of the Sunil Bhaiya session, Umesh Bhaiya session, Sharmila Didi session. So these are the things which helped me to go ahead and give this I mean, clarity and help me to move forward. And I would say that for the last few months, I would say that for the last 2, 3 months, due to some, constraints, my involvement in the volunteering has also reduced a little. But my journey of UHV journey will definitely continue, and definitely I would have this involvement more in the coming upcoming journeys as well. And as I find this to be highly meaningful and purposeful, and my current focus is to enhance my conscious unit. So, with this, my gratitude to all those who are patiently listening to my, sharing. I would say that all the questions that were asked by the co-explorers were something which were helping me out to give this clarity. And my special thanks to Sharmila Didi, Sunal Bhaiya, Gopal Bhaiya, and my heartful thanks to Umesh ji, that every now and then, that whenever there is something disturbing me or something, I would immediately give a call to Umesh Bhaiya, and I do not know from where I get answers for that. So thank you so much, and I would continue with this UHV journey. Thank you.
So I request Gopal Bhaiya to give his comments regarding Kavitha Didi's sharing. Gopal Bhaiya, over to you now.
Namaste Kavitha Didi.
Namaste, Bhaiya.
Namaste, very nice sharing Didi. And
Thank
you have
you.
shared it very beautifully. And regarding sharing, and you are exploring few steps in very depth. So if you see the step 4 of exercise 1, and when I feel that I am responsible for my happiness and happiness, so that moment I become free of complaints from others. Whenever we think that my unhappiness is because of the others, then I become full of complaints. So this is step 4 is very important. So with step 4, two things happens. Number 1, I become uh, free from complaints of that I have from others. Number 2, I become, you know, mm, I determined that I need to work on myself. So these two outcomes are from this step 4. So once I think now working on myself is my need, then we start working on ourselves.
Yes,
So
Bhaiya.
that is very good, Didi. Earlier, you had many expectations from others because we were looking this feeling of happiness from others. But as through this process we have moved towards exploration, now we are aware that happiness is my innate nature and it cannot be ensured from others in continuity. So this awareness is very important. You know. And if you see this whole process of morning session, we are becoming aware of our innate nature. We are becoming aware of our potential. You know, and we are becoming aware that I can ensure my happiness in continuity myself. There is no need of others. Through this process, I become free from complaints that I have for others. So that is happening with you, Didi. And
Thank you, Bhaiya.
and if you go ahead of step 4, 5, 6, 7, so once we focus on relationship, harmony, then I see every unit, including human being, non-human being, with the feeling of relationship. And when we see feeling of relationship with everyone, then I become polite. I can understand other states also. I can evaluate others also. That is already happening with you, Didi. So in terms of process, you are doing Didi well, and
Thank you
I
very
hope you will continue all the sessions of next batch. The more
Yes.
you will be involved into this process, the more you will feel relaxed in you. And ultimately, we all want to be relaxed. So
Yeah.
nice, Didi. Best
Thank you.
wishes.